So Danielle?
Go ahead,
Hello?
Mark, start.
Okay.
I read it twice and nobody said anything.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daniel Jacobs, Sergio Mora 2 conference
I
call.
read it twice and he's now reading it again.
Oh, what's that? I didn't hear what you said. Are we on?
Yes, we're on, Mark.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, welcome to the Daniel Jacobs, Sergio Mora conference call. The rematch will take place Friday night, September 9th at the Santander Arena in Reading, Pennsylvania, and live on Spike TV. It's a championship doubleheader, a great show that will also feature the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World between undefeated Robert Easter and undefeated Richard Comey of Accra, Ghana. The show is promoted by King's Boxing, and to make some opening statements, the president of King's Boxing, Mr. Marshall Kaufman. Marshall?
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be able to host such an exciting fight come September 9th. I'm looking forward to fireworks between both of these, with both of these bouts. You have with Richard Comey and Robert Easter Jr. and, of course, Daniel Jacobs and Sergio Mora. It's going to be an exciting night. I'm really looking forward to it. And the town of Reading, as well, is really excited about such a big event coming to our town.
I guess both fighters, so I guess we'll start with Robert Easter. Would like to make an opening comment?
Yeah, I'm very excited to come to Reading, PA, and fight for this IBF world title. Hopefully, Richard Comey bring his A game to the table, because I'm definitely bringing my A+ game to the table.
And Richard, would you like to make an opening statement?
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited to have this opportunity to fight for the lightweight, IBF lightweight world title, and I'm looking forward to that. It's been great. I've worked so hard to get this opportunity, and and the Robert Easter Jr. is also willing to. He's also there, so it's gonna be a great fight come the night of September 9th.
Thank you, Danielle. We're ready to start the Q&A part of this call.
Like to ask a question, please press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. That is star 1. Your first question comes from Lem Satterfield from Your Boxing. Your line is live.
Hey, everybody. How you guys? Robert?
Yeah.
Hey, Robert. How you doing, man?
All right, yourself?
I'm blessed. I know you said you gone over, you've seen of Comey. And it looked like he's
I can't hear nothing.
Wait.
Can't hear nothing.
Okay.
Richard Comey is the issue.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think we need to drop him because it's not working.
Will we get him back?
Okay.
Should I
Hi,
really-
Lem.
Yeah. I just had one question for Richard. For Robert, and then I had a question or two for Richard, if possible. Robert, basically, he hasn't faced anyone with your height, reach, power, and speed. Is that accurate? Can you give an assessment of your thoughts on that?
Yes. No, he hasn't faced anyone like me and my agilities. My power, my length, my reach. He hasn't faced a guy like me, so that's where I come in. As long as I perfect my craft, I'll take over this fight.
On the other hand, who would you say that you have faced that is either comparable or better than him in ways that you think, he would need to be able to compete against you?
Man. The guys I faced, I don't even remember their names or.
How about Mendez?
It was Mendez. He was a speedy guy, fast and could move a lot.
But what I'm hearing, Kami brings pressure, I guess. That's probably the only thing Mendez didn't have. He definitely came to fight though, but he's a speedy guy, a slick guy, to move his hands.
I guess the last question, is there anything that is different or unique about Richard that you haven't seen in an actual fight? I know you've been in, sparring with guys like Marv Peterson and, Anthony Peterson, Adrian Broner, guys like that. But in an actual fight, is there anything about him that you respect to the level that you're really going to have to be, on your P's and Q's about?
Every opponent you step in the ring with, you have to respect. But it's nothing unique I see coming from him. There's nothing I haven't seen or faced. So, like I said, this should be a walk in the park for me. And I say that with confidence.
Thank you, Robert. Is Richard going to be available?
He is available. We will unmute his line.
It sounds like Richard's back.
Okay, Richard, this is Lem Satterfield. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, please.
Okay. Richard, I wonder what tradition to you when you talk about Accra, Zuma Nelson, Joshua Clottey, the Ghanaian. Have you talked to any of those guys or heard from any of those guys in advance of your fight?
Yeah, I've had a chance to speak to Zuma Nelson, Clottey and Joshua Clottey. So, they've advised me as they've been there through. So, at least whatever advice they give me, and I'm looking forward to, do whatever they say, get into the ring and do as they say, as they advise me to.
Richard, how does Robert stack up to guys like Amir, who's a left-hander? You went the distance with both of those guys. Have you seen anything like what you're going to see out of Robert in terms of reach and?
Yeah, obviously I'm for anyone with the heart of me, but I've been finding a lot of people with a lot of heart, and we are heavier than me, so it's all going through, and then it's never for anyone like me as well. So, I'm coming in there, this is the chance, I need this opportunity, so I'm coming in there regardless of his height, I don't really matter, I'm coming there to give me all of a fight, and that's what I'm coming to do.
The last question, what do you think you said he hasn't fought anyone like you? What do you think is unique about you that he hasn't seen before?
Well, I'm a tough guy, and, no matter what he does, I keep coming, and, I'm going to give me all of that, because obviously he hasn't fought a tough guy like me, and, I'm ever ready to go. If it's going to be 15 rounds, I'm ever ready to go. I'm strong, and I can take punches all day, and I can punch as well. So, it's going to be great. I can boss as well, I can do all things. If he can't, if Robert can't, if you can't kill me in the ring, then you should fall about the title, and, I respect the height, I respect the reach you go, and I respect myself as a boxer, but obviously, whatever jump in the ring to fight, it must be respected as a boxer. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Question comes from Decinio Lois Jr., Black Star News, New York. Your line is live.
Thank you very much, Decinio Lois Jr., New York, Black Star News, New York. I'll start with you, Easter. Welcome to the fight, and good luck to you. You mentioned that you're ready, and Comey has not fought anybody of your caliber, but if you look at both records, you guys are both undefeated with a nice double figure of knockouts. And he's already champion in his country and all that. Now, and you are an ex-Olympian. Are you telling me, or as I understand, that you're minimizing what he has taking in consideration that he is undefeated just like you, and somebody's always got to go. So how do you assess that?
Seeing the few rounds I did watch, the skills, I wouldn't say they were that good, but he, like I said, he's strong. They say he's strong, but you're only strong to somebody you can hit.
Right.
When you got a boxing out there like me, and I'm using my length, and plus these what I'm throwing coming hard as well. How you gonna be able to get past that? So like I said, the skills are not much there, but I don't like to get hit that much. I won't get hit that much, so I'm gonna take all that away from him, whatever he's bringing, and adjust to have him adjust to me. So once I get him in my game plan, then the fight is gonna go my way. The whole few rounds is gonna last.
Do you feel that your Olympic experience is an advantage over him? Because after all, if you get to the high heights of Olympic experience in international amateur fighting, you're almost like a pro. It's almost like stepping into the living room when you turn pro. So you have an edge on that?
I wouldn't pretty much focus on the amateur side, because the transition from the amateur to pro is way different. You learn patience and you learn how to place punches and stuff. So, I learned I transitioned pretty quickly. Training with guys that train like Lamont Peterson, Anthony Peterson, Adrian Bronner, guys like that. They taught me well.
I see. Oh, thank you very much. My next question would be to Richard Comey. Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
Mr. Comey, welcome to the United States. I see that you only fought, correct me if I'm wrong, you only fought once in the USA. Most of your fights were in Europe and in your country. Are you hoping to, just to name two guys, to follow the tradition of African champions like Ike Quartey and the great Azuma Nelson to bring another title back to Africa? Is what not only to win, of course, but this your direction or your crusade when you were saying that finally I got a chance at a world title, and in your heart of hearts, this is what you want to do to bring another title to Africa?
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to put my name there as the like you said, the like of Corti, Azuma Nelson, Professor, and they've done their bit, and it's smart and also to bring a world title back to my country. So really looking forward to that part.
Right. And so, knowing that this is for the vacant IBF, a world title, of course, what have you, without giving out trade secrets, what have you done in camp to different or with a high acceleration to make sure that your hand is raised in victory over Easter?
Well, of course, I spot a lot of big, experienced guys like Joshua Cloutier, the lot of big guys, and with the kind of punch that, with the kind of power they go and I still take it and then walk and give them, a good sparring. That taught me that and they can go come in there to put my life on the line as I want to put my name on the. I want to follow the tradition of Ghanaian boxing, African boxing. So, I've done all I could, and so I'm coming there to, make sure once I get my game plan underway, then it's going to be good for me.
Right. So, to both of you, all systems are go, so you're ready to give us a good show. You're both undefeated. Somebody's always got to go. So, from here, God bless both of you, and, may you have a good fight, and please come out safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
ESPN, your line is live.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Hey, Robert. Are you there, Robert?
Yes.
Hey, when you were speaking a little earlier, you mentioned that you thought maybe this would be, I believe you said the words, a walk in the park, this fight. Do you run at all the risk of being a little overconfident against another opponent who is also undefeated and is, traveled all over, fought a lot of different type of fighters in all different countries, and certainly has no fear of coming here? Are you a little overconfident in those remarks?
No, not at all. Not at all. I believe in my skill, and I know what I come to do. Just like my last fight and the fight before that, a few fights before that. Once I got my game plan, when I come in the ring, I know how to make the fighter try to adjust to me. Once I get a fighter trying to adjust to me, then the fight is already won.
Do you think, Robert, that this? I'm sorry. Continue if you were not finished.
Like I said, man, the skills. You can see the skills in mine and his. He's a straight coming forward fighter, try that hard punch and all that. But when you got boxing and you can punch as well and you can move, man, it speaks for itself.
Okay, when this fight came up for you, it seemed to me that maybe it was a little bit sooner than you may have expected, because remember, Richard was he was the mandatory challenger that he was supposed to face the reigning champion, Rances Barthelemy. Barthelemy elected to, vacate the title because he wanted to move up in weight. So you ended up as the next leading available contender. So how surprised were you that he did give up the title and that you ended up getting this title shot? Seems to me probably about, maybe around a year or so, or at least in the IBF, 9 or 10 months sooner than maybe you had expected.
Right. I knew after the Mendez fight I was gonna have a big fight coming up. So either way, I was gonna train like it was a championship fight, like I do always. So it didn't surprise me that it came up this soon.
Do you think when you face him, you're going to have to use your height and length and box him because you mentioned how aggressive he is, or is this going to be similar to Argenis Mendez, where you can drop that big shot at any moment and knock the guy out?
Oh yeah, I would have to box. That's the plan for every opponent I fight. I box and use my length. So as long as I do that and see a weakness wherever I see a weakness, that's when I go into the skill.
All right, very good. Thank you for your answers. I just have a question for Richard. Are you there, Richard?
Yes, please. I'm here.
I wanted to ask you about one of the other people that was on here asking you questions mentioned about the fact that you fought in a variety of different places. I looked at your record more closely. I count 6 different countries that you fought in, between your home country, the United States, throughout Europe. Can you talk about what that experience has done in terms of giving you confidence to come again to the United States to take on an American fighter in a pretty significant fight for a world title?
Like you said, I've been fighting outside for a very long time. So obviously that have given me the confidence. I feel comfortable going outside to fight. I don't really think about where I'm gonna fight. I just go there, do my best, and whatever happens, I take it, because as a boxer, I need to prepare. You need to be ready to do whatever you are called upon to fight. So I'm ever ready to go anywhere to fight, to show my skill, show my boxing, show whatever I've got as a boxer, So I'm all good, and that is, I don't mind coming to the US to fight Robert Easter Jr.,
Richard, can you just give me your opinion about the kind of fighter and what you think about the style of Robert Easter, if you've seen him fight?
Well, I haven't really actually, but I know I haven't really had the chance to see him, as I'm focused on what I'm going to do on the night. But, the little I've seen about him, I know he's a great boxer, he's a boxer, and he tries to move a lot. But, likewise me, I can box, I can fight, I can come forward. So, on the night, definitely I know what I'm going to do, and then, it's going to be a great fight. If he box, I can box. If he comes, I can do whatever he brings, and, that's what's going to make the fight very interesting,
I have one other question for you. when you were sitting as the mandatory challenger, and I believe that you went and attended Barthelomew's fight to sort of check out and see, what your future opponent might look like. Then, as I mentioned to Robert, he gave up the title. So when you found out that Bartholomew vacated, were you disappointed that you weren't going to have a chance to fight him, or were you more happy that you were going to get a chance to fight Easter? In other words, did you have a preference of fighting Bartholomew, who was the reigning champion, or taking on another undefeated fighter for the vacant title? Or did it not make a difference to you?
Well, at the end of the day, it's the title that you want, and once you got a chance to fight for it, whoever comes, it doesn't really matter who you're supposed to find a person, moreover, it's the title I want. So for me, I don't really feel much disappointed. I'm there to fight for the title. That's who I want. So it's kind of, I would say I'm not disappointed, but I'm a little bit disappointed, but it's all good. I'm really looking forward for the titles, and once I'm fighting for the title, I don't mind.
Okay. Richard, thank you very much for your time. Robert, thank you. Good luck to both you guys.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up this part of the call. I know we got Sergio's on the line, and I think Danny will be on the line in a second. Just a quick final comment from both. We'll start with Robert.
Just be ready. September 9th, I'm going to bring a lot of fireworks and a lot of action, and another short bout. September 9th, I will be the IBF champion.
And Richard, you have a final comment? Maybe you hung up. Richard?
Put my life on the line. Yes. Okay. Come on the 9th of September. I'm coming to put my life on the line, and I'm going to be the world champion, IBF Lightweight world champion.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you in Reading September 9th. And, Danielle, I think we're ready now with, I believe Sergio's on the line. And is Danny there as well?
I'm here.
Okay. I know Danny's going to be in a second. I guess while we wait for Danny, Marshall, I don't know if you want to introduce Sergio?
Sure. I mean, we can, Sergio Mora, a very exciting fighter. The last fight was fireworks, and I'm looking forward to fireworks once again, Danny Jacobs dropped him first, and Sergio came back and took advantage of Danny's mistakes, and then the third knockdown was something that is still a question mark, whether it was from a knockdown or a twisted ankle. So there are question marks. There are questions that are left to be spoken for, and I believe Sergio is in shape, and we'll see come September 9th. How about it, Sergio?
It was no knockdown. I'm the one getting punched, by the way, so I didn't feel the punch, and it was definitely just me twisting my ankle. It was Jacobs pushing me down as well. Yeah. The referee kept warning Jacobs also that he was pushing me down with his elbow. I normally go down low like that, so it's not the first time it happened. So it's a mix of a lot of things, but it wasn't a clean punch to knock me down. It was all my ankle, and if it was a punch, then why didn't I stay down? I was up at the count of 2 or 3 on 1 foot, so it definitely wasn't no punch.
And I believe the WBA middleweight champion Daniel Jacobs online. Daniel, you want opening statements and maybe a response to that?
Well, I came in briefly, and from what I hear, he's saying that last shot wasn't a punch that put him down. I don't know what my eyes were seeing, or I don't know what my fist felt, but in my opinion, and I think if you clearly go to the video and the replay, it was a punch that put him down. It was the uppercut that started, which had him back, withdraw and back up, and then it was the overhand right that put him down. So
the overhand right grazed the back of my head. Yeah, the overhand right grazed the back of my head, but my ankle was already twisted. It was a tricky shot.
It could be a graze. It could be whatever you want to say it could be, but it puts you down. Listen, let me give my opening statement, please. I just got on the line.
But it didn't keep me down. If I was hurt, I wouldn't have gotten up.
Okay, allow me to have my opening statement, Sergio, please. I just got on the line, brother. Show some respect. I just got on the line. So, my opening statement, ladies and gentlemen. It is the honor to be back into the ring. I've been out for quite some time. The reason we've actually been out for so long was because we were trying to get a better opportunity at fighting B.J. Saunders. Obviously, that fight took a little longer than anticipated, and this is the reason why this fight is happening. It isn't because I've been avoiding Sergio Mora. I just understand that this fight for my career at this particular point isn't really going to do anything for me. It's more going to do anything more for Sergio than it would do for me. But me and him have the same management and Al Heyman, so I can understand why this fight is being made. But the reasons why he's saying this fight is being made, as far as me ducking him and not wanting to fight him, I mean, that's absurd. That's absurd. But I'm just excited, nevertheless, to be back into the ring. It's a good time for me to be able to get back in there and have some fun again. I look forward to, a very good matchup again, I hope. But one question that I do have for Sergio is, in previous interviews, he said that he was going to have a more exciting style, and he was tired of being the boring fighter he used to be, that wasn't appealing to fans, and he wasn't going to do much running and all this other stuff, stuff that he's been getting criticized before. He wasn't going to do that. And now that he says he felt the power of myself, he says he's going to completely switch the game plan. So my question is, why the sudden change? I mean, what's the difference now? Why are you not going to be more exciting and more appealing now, like you said before?
I said I was going to be exciting and more aggressive. I didn't say I was going to be stupid.
Oh, yeah, that is stupid to come and that will be stupid to come and actually go toe-to-toe and bang with me. You're absolutely right. So
yeah, it's stupid.
It'll be interesting to see the game plan that you have for this coming fight, because I just hope it's not a stinker, man. You're getting a second opportunity at at my world title shot. Please let's not make it a snoozer. Is that enough? We're both receiving a lot of criticism for this fight, but dude, please let's just make it exciting.
Hey, listen, I'm the king of criticism. If you can't take criticism, you don't belong to be a champion. You don't belong in the top like that. That's part of being a world champion, taking all the bullshit from critics and media and everyone else. And if you're thin-skinned, then you're not going to hang very much as a world champion.
Okay, Daniel, I think we're ready for some questions for these two gentlemen.
Okay, yes, sir. Ready for some questions.
As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, please press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. That's star, then 1. Your first question comes from the line of Carlos Toro from Fightful.com. Your line is live.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. First question for Sergio Mora. Sergio, after that first fight, you said that you felt that because it was so early in the fight, it was going to be a no contest. Turns out it ultimately ended up being a loss on your record. Do you feel like the fact that it's been so that the fight ended in that way, do you feel like an extra layer of motivation to try to win this second fight?
No, that blemish on my career it's already there. I tried to contest it with the New York Commission, but it got me nowhere. The New York Commission is a mess, as we're all finding out when it comes to the fights and boxing and MMA and everything else. So I went that route. It didn't go anywhere. So I'm going to have that PKO on my record for the rest of my career, my rest of my life. And it's sad because I don't want it to be on a technicality. So does it irk me? Absolutely. But am I past it? Yes. I just want an opportunity to clear whatever happened. Jacob said that he dropped me twice. I only felt once. I dropped him once. Round of the year, Sports Illustrated. Second round, I feel I was in control and winning. With 5 or 10 seconds left, the injury happens and I bust my ankle. So there's a lot of unanswered questions. For whatever reason this fight is happening again, I'm fully prepared for whatever comes, and I just want my opportunity, and I'm thankful that I got it.
And question for Daniel. Daniel, in the first round, Sergio did knock you down. You said after the fight ended that you were a little bit careless in that first round. Are you taking a more conservative approach, or are you being a little more careful, knowing that Sergio has the capabilities of knocking you down?
Listen, there's always opportunities to learn and grow in the sport of boxing. Even with a light punching guy like Sergio Mora, I learned a valuable lesson that after I knocked him down and I was going in for the kill, that you still have to be defensive-minded even when you have a guy hurt, because I was on the verge of stopping this man. There's no way around that. I was definitely on the verge of stopping him, but in my mind I got a little careless, and the way I had my feet spread, I mean, I just got caught with a real clean shot. There's nothing I can take away from him. He definitely earned that, but it was a valuable lesson to me, and a lesson that I'm sure I won't make again.
And last question for Sergio. Sergio, how was the rehab and trying to get back and healthy? Was there, any setback? Was there anything that, that during that time you looked at yourself as a fighter and wanted to improve upon for this rematch?
No, not as a fighter. The only thing I had in mind was to heal up 100%. I did everything in my power and my capability to heal up properly. I did I got the best treatment. I tried to go with the best physical therapist, and I would ice and do all the remedies, all the Mexican remedies that my mom would tell me to do. And I try to do everything possible to do it. So finally, I after 6 to 7 months, I started little by little started putting pressure on it, and I started feeling good and taping it, taking a leave, and sometimes I have to take cortisone shots in order for me to go harder and faster. So I just did everything in my ability, plus prayer, and, thank God I'm back.
All right. Thank you so much, you two, and best of luck come September 9th.
Thank you.
Greg Leon, Boxing Talk, your line is live.
How's it going, guys? I don't know who's best fit to answer this question, but is there a rubber match clause in the event that Sergio pulls the upset?
I'm the king of rematches, so I'll answer that. I've had 4 rematches. This is going to be my 5th, and I've never had a rubber match. I probably deserved a rubber match with Ryan Vera, but Texas is just too big and strong for me to beat. So rubber matches, I don't know. We'll see. I got to get the one first.
Okay. Are you confident, Sergio, in your ability to plant on your ankle?
Absolutely. Now I am. There were times within the year that I've been off that I questioned it, and I'm 35 years old now, so everything heals up slower. I can't fool myself. So sometimes I question it, but no, not anymore. I did everything. I put all the pressure, sprinting uphill, sprinting downhill, stopping on a dime, pivoting, twisting, and I feel an ache here and there. But as far as me doing it, I've done it. So mentally, I'm there. I'm ready.
I appreciate it, Sergio. Thank you. Daniel, do you feel this fight is a backward step?
I absolutely do. I mean, I think to me, this is kind of like a just stay busy fight because we wasn't able to get the fight that we actually wanted for whatever reason. But to me, I don't think this does anything for my career. Like I said before, we've always wanted to move up to bigger and better opposition each time out. This is kind of a step back. And I understand that they left a bitter taste in certain people's mouths because of the way Sergio Mora lost. But in my opinion, he was on the verge anyway. So that's how I looked at it. But this is, for me, an opportunity to kind of quiet the critics and, just make the final statement once and for all that I am the better fighter, better boxer. I'm better in general inside that square ring. Sergio Mora has nothing in there to stop me, especially come September 9th. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in my life. And he said before that I don't like to go 12 rounds. I mean, I've never said that. I mean, just because I knock guys out doesn't mean I don't like to go 12 rounds. With the Caleb 2X fight, I wanted to go 12 rounds, and I did. And then I stopped him in the 12th round. So it's not like I just like to go out there and have this false identity like I'm this super big knockout artist. I'm a superb boxer. I learned that fundamentals from the amateur USA boxing. I've gone internationally and performed on an international level. I know how to box. Sergio Mora is just extremely awkward. And that's what allowed him to get where he is now. Take nothing away from him being a world champion. Yeah, I have to give him credit for that. But as of late,
well, now you give him some credit.
Fighter.
And guess what? Hey, listen, man, sorry to interrupt you, but that's the first time you've ever given me credit.
I thought I was answering the question. Okay, I'm going to let you go ahead.
That's the first time you've ever given me credit, man. Thank you very much. I'm thanking you, Danny. Thank you.
Oh, okay. You're very welcome. But as I was saying, yes, this is definitely a step back.
Okay, excellent. This question is for both of you guys. It didn't take long for you to get acquainted the first time around. What are your mindsets? Are you looking to pick up where you left off, or are you taking a completely different approach this time around?
You can start, Sergio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jacob. Well, listen,
You're very welcome.
I'm still in shock that he gave me credit. Look, the first time around, he downplayed and downgraded me as a former world champion, and he said that he wanted to move on to bigger and better things. I just want to touch on something. I'm the best name on Daniel Jacobs. No, let me take that back. I'm the most accomplished name on Daniel Jacobs' record. So how is he how is he going backwards? How is he regressing by fighting me? No. I'm the best. I'm the most accomplished on his resume. He's not even top 3 on mine. I got Hall of Famers on my resume. I had to beat a world champion, a 5-time world champion to become a champion. He had to beat a guy named the Jazz, Fletcher Jacob. I don't even know what the hell his name is, Fletcher Jones or whatever it is. So the bottom line is, you got to give me my credit, man. So thank you for giving me that credit. Now, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
I said basically you guys got to it right away last time around. Are you looking to pick up where you left off, or are you coming in with a totally different mindset?
Well, look, I know that I got dropped. I've been dropped before. I can get up, and I'm pretty resilient that way. Jacob took a little longer to get the cobwebs off, so now he knows that I can punch. I don't think he's going to come in as aggressive as he was the first time. If he does, maybe we'll leave off. That's going to be up to the champ. If the champ wants to start it off, come get it. If not, if I see him fighting behind the jab, then I'm going to have to go and put the pressure on a little bit.
And Daniel?
So I totally feel like he's just full of it right now. I don't think he's going to come forward. He's even said it in the interview. Now he understands and he knows how much power I possess. He's going to change the game plan, and he's going to try to take me into what he quotes deep waters. So he's going to try to take me in the later rounds, which in my opinion, he has to box, and he has to be on the back foot to do so. So in my opinion, I think he's going to try to make it a snoozer. He's not going to try to make it exciting and come forward. And it's just up to me to make it exciting. And I'm going to do what I've always done. I'm going to come forward, and I'm going to adjust if I need to make adjustments. And that's simple. I want to hurt this man. There's no way around it. I want him to feel and eat his words, period. So I'm going to come in there, and I'm going to try to punch you in your face. It's plain and simple, Sergio. That's my game approach. But if you want to box,
you try to reach my
back foot, hold on, sir. Hold on, baby. I'll let you answer your question. Hold on now. Be respectful. If you want to be on the back foot, that's the game that I can play too. I have an extreme amateur professional boxing resume, brother. Like, we can do this. But the game plan for me, to answer your question, is to go in there and hurt this man, period.
I appreciate it, guys. Good luck on the 9th. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jay.
Our next call comes from the line of Dan Rafael from ESPN. Your line is live.
Thank you very much. My first question for you, Sergio. Sergio, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. My question for you, Sergio, is given the fact that Danny has said that this is a backward step for him, he looks at it as a tune-up fight, he didn't really want to have the rematch. What do you think it was that actually got you this rematch? And I know you wanted very badly.
Al Heyman. Plain and simple, Al Heyman. I think no one was campaigning for this rematch, Dan, and I think a lot of people were surprised that it happened. I certainly was surprised that I got the phone call, because even though I was promised by Al a big fight, my first fight back, I didn't expect it to be for a world title versus Daniel Jacobs in a rematch. So I'm very, very thankful to Al Heyman. And honestly, this is, not to be funny or anything, but if I really have to thank another person, another thing, is Twitter, because it gives me a voice when I was injured, and I never had that before. I just wish I would have started it earlier and had more of a following. So yeah, I got to thank Twitter too.
Do you think? You've had your ups and downs. You fought a lot of good names, but like you mentioned a little earlier, you're 35 years old. Do you think this this could be your last chance at a world title?
Yeah, probably. I can't be foolish and say that I can be Bernard Hopkins. I can't. I'm not Bernard Hopkins. There's only special people that could fight mid-30s and so on and still be fighting the best. So, even though my body hasn't taken a beating, I've been in the game a long time, and the wear and tear from sparring and from running and from the dieting and from all the other stuff, all that takes effect. So, even though I am well preserved, I'm still the age that I am, and the hunger's still there. So, number one, if the hunger's still there, everything else falls into place. So, we're going to find out in 2 weeks exactly if the hunger and my body is at the same level.
Sergio, was there any part of you in discussions with your team or just, in your own thoughts that you thought to yourself after what I guess would be considered, a pretty hard injury as far as, breaking your ankle in a fight like that you come back with a tune-up fight just to see how the health of your foot and your leg are, to maybe just see where you are and then try to get this rematch, or were you anxious to just go right back in with Danny in a second fight? If you
Great question, Dan. Me and my team did have that discussion, and we did think about fighting someone else. And I think Alfredo Angulo was a name they offered, and we're considering it. But we know Angulo very well, and we just didn't feel right taking that fight, especially watching his last fight. But the ankle feels good, and we decided to go straight into this title fight because we weren't sure we were going to get it again. I think the stars lined up perfectly for it to happen, and Jacobs admits that too. That he didn't want to fight me for whatever reasons, and I got this fight thanks to El Heyman, and that's it.
All right. Well, I wish you good luck in that. I have a couple of questions for Danny. Danny, how you doing today?
I'm fine, Dan. How are you?
Everything is good. My question for you is, you are obviously not shy of saying that this was not the fight that you wanted. You had your mind on some other things, but ultimately you are going to fight Sergio Mora for the second time. So my question for you is, what was it that made you decide that ultimately you would in fact give him the rematch, even though it's clear that it's not a fight that you want?
It's just I understand how it left a bad taste in people's mouths. So with the options that we were given, we're talking to Al and talking with my team, I guess it just kind of made not sense, but it just was the right thing to do at that moment. And I won't say we looked at it as like, hey, this is an easy win, or this is an opportunity to make easy money. Like, we don't look at it like that, but we kind of just, and we definitely wasn't forced into the fight. So that's another thing that I want to make clear. Al Heyman didn't say, hey, this is going to be what you're going to do. So me and my team came together, and for whatever reasons, we allowed this fight to happen, but we definitely wasn't forced into it.
So you mentioned you had some other options that were brought to your attention. What were those other options?
It just wasn't guys, in my opinion, at that level that were bigger and better. Like I said before, we looked at the whole scene of the middleweight division, and with Andy Lee and a couple other guys, that names were thrown out there.
Who was the name you said, Danny? What was the name that you mentioned? Oh, Andy Lee, okay.
Another guy was Andy Lee, and we were trying to make that fight happen. I think that fight kind of fell through maybe once or twice. So we were just like, hey, let's just go with Sergio Mora. The way it looked and the way we won kind of left a little bit bad taste in people's mouths. So it just makes sense to do it. So.
All right. So if this is, and to use your words, a tune-up fight for you, a stay busy fight, as you mentioned. What is it a tune-up for? What is the big fight out there? You are, as the WBA's regular champion, you are the mandatory for Gennady Golovkin. I want to know if that's a fight that you'll consider after this, because the WBA, my understanding is once you guys take care of your business, they will order the fight.
Absolutely, that's the fight that I want. I want the best out there. We tried to make the fight with BJ Saunders. We tried to make the fight with a couple other guys, but it just didn't work. Chris Eubanks Jr. was another opportunity for us to fight, but he didn't want no parts. Even after winning the forgot what title he won, because I know I was his mandatory at some point, and he declined us. So we want to fight the best, point blank, period. Triple G is the best, and that's the guy that we want.
All right, good enough. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Question comes from the line of Mike Coppinger from USA Today. Your line is live.
Hey, Danny. How's everything going?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Great. You just said that Triple G is the best, and that's the guy you want. And I think a lot of people would agree that you would be the best guy that Triple G has fought so far. I don't think Triple G's fought anyone as good as you. What kind of particular stylistic problems do you think you would give Golovkin that he hasn't seen yet?
I definitely believe I would be the toughest test because I believe I would be the victor in that fight. I definitely believe in my skills and my ability. At one point in my career, the only reason why I said I wanted to wait was for us to get 12 rounds so we can go the full distance to know how we can actually feel in a tough fight for 12 rounds. I've accomplished that, and then the only thing that was kind of keeping me from making this fight happen earlier was the finances. So people saying, I was ducking or I was doing a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of that, that's far from the truth. I just wanted to be compensated accordingly, and that was it. If we can make these fights happen sooner than later, I'm all for it. But in the same token, I still would like to be compensated accordingly.
Right, of course. And being that, if you couldn't get a deal done, it would go to a purse bid. Are you confident that you could get a deal done that would be good for the finances?
I'm not too. I don't really know too much about that. I mean, I have a great team, and I leave all those things up to my team. My thing is to stay ready, to be ready, and to perform at my best when I'm inside the ring. So whatever the logistics is outside the ring, all I have to do is say, yes, I'm comfortable with that, and let's make the fight.
Now, I know you're a pretty even-killed guy, but has Sergio gotten under your skin with all the trash talk?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, not under my skin to where it would affect my game plan or it'll affect me inside the ring. No, it's just, some of the things that he's said or from the pictures that he's posted. And, that's what he's supposed to do, and he's landed himself an opportunity at fighting me again. So it actually worked out for him. But I don't think it's going to work out for him come September 9th. It's actually going to do more damage than good. But, this is an opportunity that I'm looking forward to. And this is probably, for me, the first personal fight that I'm entering and, with mean intentions. And
question for Sergio. You've been around for a long time. You fought a lot of top guys like Sugar Shane and so forth. How would you compare Danny to those guys? And how do you think you'll a guy like you who has such a high boxing IQ, how do you think a rematch would help you? You've already seen him for a few rounds.
Sugar Shane and so forth, and Vernon Forrest.
Yes.
Exactly. Two great fighters. Look, Danny has his amateur pedigree, and he can fight behind the jab, like he says, and he can fight on his back foot, as he claims. He says he's gone 12 tough rounds. I only seen him go 12 one-sided rounds against a guy named Caleb Truex. Those aren't tough. He doesn't know what tough is yet, and he hasn't experienced what it is to be in there with all-around championship caliber fighter for 12 rounds. I have. That's the difference. And I feel that until he experiences that, he still doesn't know what it is to be an all-around champion. A champion that's had to deal with getting knocked down, getting up, bad cuts, being down behind on cards, losing on cards, going into the final championship round. These are the experiences you can only dream of and hope of as a champion. So until you experience that, you can really say you've done it. Right now, he still needs to learn.
I look forward to you teaching me, brother.
Sergio, do you relish having these kind of opportunities to, as you said, teach a younger fighter?
Absolutely. I relish the opportunity to do great things, man. And I think if you look back at my career, every time I get a big opportunity, I conquer it, or something like the Shane Mosley thing happens where I feel I won and it was a draw. But the big opportunities, I shine, man, and this is just something that always needs to happen. Always have to take the hard route. That's been my career, man. I've never been the A side. I've always been the B side that could compete with the A side, and this is just another example of that. Danny, the young champion, looking down on me, subordinating me, making me feel like I'm lucky to get this opportunity. I've dealt with that my entire career, man, It's nothing new. I know I'm here over and over, time after time, for a reason, because I'm that fucking good. And until people recognize and realize that, I'll never get the credit for it. And that's fine, as long as I keep getting these opportunities and as long as I become a two-division champ.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Question comes from the line of Eddie Goldman, no holds barred. Your line is live.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Danny.
Hello.
Danny, you know, in a lot of fights, the first round is a sort of feeling out round. You've had the exact opposite in your last two fights with Peter Quillen and with Sergio, where they've just been fireworks. Tell us about that, how you approach that, what you expect to take place, especially in light of the last two fights.
Well, I don't really anticipate or expect anything. Boxing is one of those things where anything can happen at any given moment. My thing is I just want to be ready, and when I prepare inside the gym and I'm in tip-top shape, I'm prepared and ready for anything that will come my way inside that ring, whether it's the first round or whether it's the last round. It just so happens that these last couple of fights I'm having very exciting first-rounders. So my thing is, as long as I'm able to adjust, I can come and be prepared for anything that comes my way.
What was key in those two fights, to both of those fights starting off with so much activity and so much action?
I think just getting warmed up properly in the backstage, making sure that the flow is going and that you don't have to kind of warm up in those first couple of rounds. Me and my team do a great job, and shout out to my team, by the way. We do such a great job with making sure that we're prepared and ready for each round from the very first to the very end.
And is that going to affect at all your game plan? Because people have seen those two previous fights and are talking about it. They say maybe, you know, this is a guy who's just going to destroy people in the beginning. Is that weighing on your approach at all for this rematch?
Absolutely not. You know, my MO as a fighter is to be a fluent boxer first. It just so happened that the speed and the power that I possess as well kind of hurt guys, and I'm a really great finisher. Where my mentality is to go in there and show my skills. You know, that's what I love about the sweet science. I actually love to get behind my jab and put my combinations together and start to give good movements and good angles. Like, I love that stuff. But it just so happens that when I'm in there with guys and, you know, I start to land good shots and they get hurt, we just have, you know, rounds of the year and first round stoppages and early stoppages, so on and so forth. So I'm just happy I'm able to get the victory and finish strong.
And Sergio, what do you expect? Do you expect this rematch to have this same type of electric start, and how do you prepare for this?
Well, we're going to go back to Danny's power. You know, he does have power, and you're born with power. You can't teach power. You can't go in the gym and work on power, or else I would have done that 20 years ago. So he's blessed with an ability to punch hard with both hands, and he's always going to make for exciting fights. Now, he's also vulnerable because he's been dropped before, and that's also on the exciting side. So whenever it comes to a guy like Danny Jacobs, you never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like fighting a guy like Victor Ortiz, even though I think he's better all around than Victor. You know, Victor's exciting. You know, he's a former champion. He's a power puncher, but you never know what Victor you're going to get. So I think that's the same thing with Danny, only, you know, Victor's fought better opposition than Danny, so that's the difference. I think for this fight, I don't know, man. I really don't know what I'm going to expect. You know, I didn't expect to go down in the first round. I was surprised by the punch. It was an awkward punch, and from a southpaw angle, I believe his right foot was in front. I took a picture a little too long and held the position expecting a left hook to come, and instead a right uppercut came, which is awkward. And he calls me awkward. That was an awkward punch. So yeah, you know what? He stunned me. I got up. I shook it off, and he came for the kill like I knew he would, and I was able to catch him. I think we both learned that we can hurt each other, and we both learned that we both can be sneaky from certain sneaky positions. So I don't think it's going to start off with fireworks like it did the first time, but I think it's going to end up fireworks. I don't know if it's the second, third, or further down the fight, but that's what I'm expecting.
And would anybody like to make a prediction for this fight, Danny?
I don't make predictions. I don't like to go in there and have any type of thing over my head where I have to live up to it. I just like to win, and however I win, however it comes, I'm grateful for it.
Okay, and Sergio, any prediction?
If I'm ready, I go in there to win, and I'm ready for this fight. I'm confident. I expect a great performance from both of us, and I expect to become a world champion, a two-time world division champion by the end of this fight. So I'm expecting a win. I don't know how, but I'm going to win.
All right, thank you. Good luck to everybody. Looking forward to it.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up. I just want to get everyone, Daniel and Sergio, just a quick final comment, and after that, we'll see you on Fight Week. Daniel?
I just have a lot of people to thank that I will take this time to thank. First off, I would like to thank my team and everyone involved for allowing me to have such a great camp. Been putting in the necessary work, everyone, Team Jacobs, the necessary work that we need to be 100% prepared for this fight come September 9th. I'll be proudly representing my Brooklyn boxing apparel as I'm sporting my trunks and you know, finessing my moves inside the ring. I want to give a big shout out to, you know, Brooklyn Boxing has been supportive of my whole career. And me being an ambassador, I definitely have to big them up. And Al Heyman, most importantly, you know, Al has been taking care of me. I've been the first guy that Al has had directly out of the amateurs to a world championship. So I have to give my hat, take my hat off to Al and you know, everyone involved with Team Heyman. And that's pretty much it. All the promoters and managers involved with this as well. Everyone who's made this possible. And thanks for all the fans for all the continued support. Thank you very much.
And Sergio?
I got to start with Al Heyman because he's given me not only a second opportunity, third. I've already had 4 opportunities to come back and reinvent myself, and Al Heyman gave me that opportunity. So I thank Al Heyman. I got to thank my loyal team, my trainer Dean Campos, who's been with me since the amateurs, John Montalongo, the rest of my team, Cutman Carlos, and Panda Martinez, and I want to thank my sponsors, Snack, Victor Conte is on board for this fight, and you know, I've never been a fighter that takes supplements. I'm a guy that just tries to eat right and hydrate, and I notice a difference with supplements and doing it the scientific way. So I want to thank the Snack System and Victor Conte, and I want to thank my sponsor, Spy Optics, and that's about it. I want to thank the fans as well for my day one fans and even my critics and my haters. They keep me alive, so thank them too.
Thank you, everyone, for being on the call.
You forgot one more person, brother. You forgot one more person, Sergio.
I want to thank what? Danny Jacobs?
That's it. That's my man. That's my man.
Go
That's
fuck
my
yourself.
man.
I'll see you in 2 weeks, homeboy.
Well, let's do it on September 9th. You already know, Sergio. I'm coming for you, brother. I'm coming for you.
Daniel said it. I just want to thank everyone for being on the call, and we'll see you guys, everyone, September 9th in Reading. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Teleconference, you may now disconnect your line.